Hey everybody, welcome into the Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network. Ryan Tyler, Jack O'Rourke, Liv, and the one and only, I'm going to waste no time jumping right into it, Mr. Ken Miles. Big Play Ken, we like to call him around these parts, serial entrepreneur. The reason why we're doing this show right now, the reason why me and Jack are able to do what we do, as well as Liv now as she joins the Big Play team. Before we dive into it, Ken, how are you, man? How's Florida treating you? You got a bunch going on between. I know we're going to dive into some crypto talk, all the horse talk today, but Ken, before we dive into any, how you doing, man?
Doing great. I'll tell you what, I love seeing the snow up in Cleveland because right now it's about sunny and going to be 85 degrees here down in Naples, Florida.
Well, glad it's warm for you because it is quite frigid here. Although the last week, it's finally starting to come around. I thought I woke up this morning, I saw the little bit of green grass. I thought that's a good sign. I felt a little bit better. I wasn't totally freezing. So hopefully good things. Ken, we talked off air a little bit, catchers and pitchers reporting here shortly. That's a good sign. That means spring's right around the corner. But thanks for coming on the show, Ken. Again, we said we wouldn't be here without you. I know we're missing you here in the great state of Ohio, but Ken, again, thanks for coming on.
Let me just jump in here for a second. Love the fact that you guys have put together the Big Play Factor. Love what it's all about. Love what we're doing at Big Play, and it wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for the three strong individuals that are in the studio back home right now and the rest of the team over at Big Play. But I got to say, you were mentioning the weather. Having lived in Northeast Ohio most of my life, now that I'm down in Naples, one of the first things my wife and I did was make sure that we could subscribe to the local channels up in Cleveland, get them down here so that I could watch Betsy Kling talking about lake effect snow and just laugh all day long.
So, Ken, big year here for Big Play coming up in 2025. It's not the best kept secret in the world anymore. We got a Super Bowl commercial coming out. Can you just talk about some of the fun things that we have going on this year and what you're most excited about from your perspective?
Well, first of all, I couldn't be more excited about the growth and the team and everything that's going on. For those that don't know, we're headquartered down at Burke Lakefront Airport. The studio that these guys are broadcasting in right now is down there, along with our lounge, our offices. We have multiple studios and some great things planned for the terminal. I know there's a lot of questions in the city of Cleveland as to what is actually happening with Burke Lakefront Airport. And I'm happy to say that we're one of the positives and not ready yet to announce some major happenings at the terminal with Big Play, but stay tuned to that. So very excited about that. We, as you just mentioned, Jack, the Super Bowl commercial, which you can catch on Fox 8 and look forward to seeing somewhere we're thinking right now before the second quarter of the Super Bowl itself, where we showcase all our talent. And really that sets the stage for what we're going to do in 2025, which is grow the Big Play Network nationally and not just be regional in coverage. And one of those shows, aside from this one that I'm on right now, is our Talking Track show, which is all about horse racing. And for those of you that have been following the Big Play Horse Improbable Luck, we just got word that it's looking like his debut race will be Saturday, February 22nd.
Wow. What race is it?
Park in Arkansas.
Down to So, Ken, let me ask you this, because I'm not as privy to the horse racing world as you are. Can you kind of speak to the travel for these horses? Like, how do you move a horse from California out to Arkansas in time for a race? Like, are they on a plane? How does that happen?
Yeah, so they travel very well, the thoroughbreds. And I don't know if you can see the pictures behind me. These are some of our horses. But no, they're treated like kings. And they travel either in equine planes or there's an equine van. And they're harnessed and cushioned in because you want to make sure that they don't bounce around and get hurt. But in the case of Improbable Luck, he's living down in Arkansas right now. So he trains up in the summer and runs at Churchill Downs, which is in Kentucky, and he'll race around the Midwest and easily travels in an equine bus. And then for the winter, our trainer, Wayne Lucas, moves his horses down to Arkansas. It's a great track down in Arkansas called Oaklawn. And a lot of the Kentucky Derby hopefuls and top 3-year-olds train there, and that's where Improbable Luck is right now. Now, I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but let's say Improbable Luck was to have a great debut race. He could immediately be put into some higher stakes races and earn some points for the Kentucky Derby. I'd have to say that's still a long shot because the Derby's coming up pretty fast, but definitely some of the bigger races like the Preakness or Belmont Stakes now, if he has a good race or two here could be in the cards.
Ken, I want you to talk about the people you've met through these racing horses. I mean, we're talking about pictures I saw you with Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP, maybe 3-time MVP, Jason Worth, obviously who played for the Nationals. Like when I first came to Big Play, I knew jack squat about horses, absolutely nothing. And since working here, obviously I produced Talk and Track with Ryan Stillman and Aaron Halterman. I've learned so much, and through you, of course, as well, with Seize the Gray, now Improbable Luck, obviously. I didn't realize how big the racing horse world was. I didn't realize how many people, and while in the bare bones of it is I'm thinking of a luxurious sport, lack of better terms, but it's really not. Like, people like me who don't know anything can jump into it, learn stuff, watch these races, and through my racehorse and Improbable Luck, like, we get a chance to be a part of the racing horse community, and when we really wouldn't have been able to otherwise.
Yeah, so it really, horse racing for a long time was just viewed as a sport for kings, and it really was the case. And people would go to the track because the only way you could bet on horse racing was to bet at the track. Well, with the prevalence of online betting and sports betting, and now you could bet on horses online, people don't need to go to the track. And the industry was really on a downturn. Well, along came Michael Behrens, the CEO of a company called My Racehorse, with the concept of taking an asset like a horse, turning it into a secure asset by going through a process with the Securities and Exchange Commission, and then in turn selling shares of that asset like you would in a company, but in this case it's a horse, to individuals for $100, $150. And unlike, you hear the model of you could own a piece of the Green Bay Packers and you get a certificate and you put it on the wall, it really doesn't mean a whole lot. In this case, when you own a share of a horse, you really have that asset. And if that horse wins money, you share in the money. Now, the great thing too is My Racehorse will keep it so that you don't have any further expenses. You buy that one share, that's it. I really love the concept and became partners with Michael. We became significant shareholders of that company. And My Racehorse then has gone on to have multiple horses that have won major races. In fact, we just were at the Eclipse Awards, which is the Academy Awards for horses, and one for Seize the Gray. One of our horses was the Moment of the Year in 2024, and Straight No Chaser was the male sprinter of the year. And in those cases, there's 3,000, 4,000 people that own a little piece of a horse. So a lot of fun there. But in the case of, I think the question you asked was, do we meet a lot of people? Yeah, we certainly do, because these former athletes, they want that adrenaline rush. And I can tell you there's nothing more exciting than being there with your horse at the start gate and finish line.
So, Ken, you talked a bit about the Eclipse Awards there for a second. Congratulations, by the way, on Moment of the Year with Seize the Gray. I don't know how much of the Grammys you caught last night, but you weren't parading down the runway like Kanye and his girlfriend were last night. Were you at the Eclipse Awards?
Not quite. My wife is a pretty classy woman. She had a beautiful gray gown on, and I'm happy to say she kept it on. And I had a great tux in honor of Seize the Gray.
Ken, so you obviously saw, did you see what Kanye's girlfriend was wearing, obviously?
Or not wearing?
Or not wearing.
I think not wearing is better, yeah.
Yeah, maybe you can shed some light on this, because I'm just confused how that's legal. I understand there's a garment on, so she's technically not naked, but, I mean, let's be real, like, a law is a law, I get it, but let's have common sense. How is that legal?
Well, I don't even know how to respond to that. I think I got to throw it back to your generation and say, who even thinks of doing that?
Yeah. Honestly, this is a great, because I was just telling Jack, we got Liv up here at the desk too. Great to have a female's perspective on this. Liv, what did you think about that? Like, I get it, they're celebrities, so it's like going with the mold, but I mean, my goodness.
Well, I mean, we've obviously seen a trend towards more like not scandalous things, but more revealing things. But Kanye and Bianca have redefined what it means to wear like crazy, obscene things, because anytime you see her out in public, she's paraded around in the most tiniest scrap of clothing you've ever seen. And I can't justify it, because I don't know anyone who like looks at that and is like, yeah, man, that's what's up. So I truly don't know. I think it's just Kanye's gone a little off his rocker, maybe.
And I remember a day and a time, guys, where Lady Gaga went to the Grammys like 15 years ago in a dress made of meat. And everyone's like, oh, put her in a mental institution. She's insane. And now we're in a world now where you can just show up naked to the event.
She was a trendsetter. I remember Lady Gaga. She was famous for all of her great outfits. I don't know. It is what it is. That's crazy. Jayden Smith had an interesting outfit. We'll get into that too. But Ken, I want to talk to you to flip it over from the horses about cryptocurrency a little bit. I got into cryptocurrency when I was a senior in high school. I worked at a pizza shop, and our GM was a big crypto guy. He kind of got us all into the world of it. I learned all about it. And it even back then, it seemed like I got in too late. But it wasn't. And people now are saying that they're getting in too late, Bitcoin 96,000. But the reality is, and I was talking to my mom about this, she's like, well, why would I invest in something that has already gotten so crazily high? And I'm trying to find the best way to explain to her that while it might look like this, you're not going to be saying that in 10 years when you invest in this, and it's 10 times Bitcoin's price is what it is now, Ken.
Yeah, no, I think you've all heard me talk about it when I'm in Cleveland and meeting with you. I was in with IBM when we developed the personal computer, and that was very transformational. People said, "Oh, it's never going to happen. We're never going to get away from mainframes." We're talking back in the '80s. I mean, I'm probably older than some of your parents, and that was revolutionary. 2000 was the dawn of the internet, and I remember there we had a technology company, and people were like, "Internet, World Wide Web, what the heck are you talking about? I'll never connect to my neighbor," et cetera, et cetera. As we sit here today, when we talk about blockchain technology and crypto, I'm telling you, in my entire career, I've never seen anything as transformational as this. And the analogy I use is this is about what you're seeing with Bitcoin and Ethereum and XRP and the other 10,000 crypto assets. To me, if you were to compare it to the internet, this is what the internet was like in around 2001.
Wow.
People were hearing about it, thinking it was crazy. Oh my gosh, this will never happen. And look, 25 years later, every single thing we do every single day is as a result of, a majority of it is as a result of the internet. If I was to say to you in 2001, how would you like to own a little piece of the internet? I think you would say yes.
I sure would. That's just so crazy. And I think a lot of people that aren't, as knowledgeable about crypto, they see these meme coins. These started with Dogecoin, Trump coin. I mean, there's a plethora of others, Shiba Inu.
Talk coin.
They're like, yeah, Talk coin. They're real coins. They're on them, like you can get shares of them, but I think it scares them because they see how volatile they are, and they're called a meme coin for a reason. And I think people have a hard time recognizing the difference because they just need the information of between a coin like that and a legit coin like the Bitcoins, the Ethereums, the XRPs, the Stellar Lumens, along those lines. Like those are like, you're in it for the long run with those, right?
Yeah, and by the way, I like the fact that you're dropping in a little Stellar Lumens love there.
I was hip to Stellar Lumens when I think it was at like 20 cents, Ken.
Yeah, very good. No, so, it's like, again, I'll go back to that internet analogy. Yeah, there were so many companies that started doing things on the internet. And people were saying, hey, should I buy shares of this stock? Well, you got to look at the utility behind the company. In this case, look at the utility behind the crypto asset. And by the way, when we talk about Bitcoin or Ethereum or Solana or XRP, these are all separate crypto assets. I don't even like calling it cryptocurrency because when you say the term currency, people think money, and these are way more than money. You have to think of these really as application programs. When you think about a meme coin, what does it really do? Does it have utility? Now, you could buy it low and sell it high and make money, but worse yet, you could buy it high, it falls low, and you lose money. I'm not interested in any of that stuff. I could throw a dart on a roulette wheel and maybe win some money there, but I'd rather go where I know there's utility. That's where I look at things like Ethereum, XRP. They have real world transactions. People don't realize this. There was more transaction volume on the Ethereum blockchain than Visa combined and MasterCard last year. Trillions and trillions of dollars moving through it. So this is very real. It's a very real application. The masses don't know about it yet, but Ethereum is what the Ethereum blockchain requires Ether to run, and that's why the price of an Ethereum token will continue to go up. That's something I can see as tangible and invest in. Same thing with XRP and others. So for those that are going to look at crypto, do your homework. Make sure there's utility behind it before you get involved.
Yeah, I'm like thinking of, I know a big fear some people talk about why they're so hesitant, and it's the same thing you mentioned with the internet. It's a foreign concept at first. It's hard to embrace, but you see the intricacies of it, the complexities, and how like engineers and crypto miners make it happen. But there's a fear that like people don't understand because it's all digital, right? They're like, oh well, what if a power grid goes out? What if a terrorist organization shuts down all the power? Everybody loses all their assets. Is that a real fear? Is it a legit fear, Ken? Or is it can't be that simple, right?
No. So I hear that all the time. And first of all, yeah, it's not going to go away if the power grid goes down. But Jack, you were saying you don't really know much about crypto, but maybe a little nervous about it. Look, you get a paycheck from Big Play, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do I ever hand you any green dollar bills?
No.
Okay. Do I even hand you a piece of paper?
No. Email.
Okay. What happens? It's just magic, right?
Yeah, pretty much. As far as I know, yeah.
Okay. So guess what? We have advertisers. They don't hand me a check.
No.
You know what? It just all happens behind the scenes, digital numbers transferring from one ledger of the advertiser to the ledger of Big Play to Jack O'Rourke. Nobody ever touches it. And guess what, Jack? You probably go, well, I'm not going to ask you what you do with your money. But yeah, look at that outfit you're wearing. It's some crazy get up over there. Man, you're spending it on clothes, huh?
No, it's a couple gifts.
Wherever you go and you buy your clothes, do you hand them greenbacks? No, you hand them a piece of plastic probably, and they welcome it, and then you walk out. So, this idea of I can't touch my money because it's crypto, look, you're not touching your money anyway.
Well, I would say kind of as someone who, as you said, like I'm a member of the masses, the people who have no clue what's going on here. Like I know very base level. I've heard of Bitcoin, I've heard of Dogecoin, and doesn't really go past that. So for me, Ken, when I hear about it, like it costs so much money to buy into, from what I can tell. Like, how much did you say one Bitcoin's going for right now?
Well, yeah, but one Bitcoin's like 96,000. But you're of course not going to go in and own a Bitcoin right away. You buy these fractions, these micro shares.
So would you buy like?
You could buy whatever you wanted. You could put
like $10 of a Bitcoin.
It's the same thing as a stock. It truly is. If you want to,
I don't understand stocks either.
Well, okay. Well, that might be a problem.
All right, Jack, but this is, come on, man. You got to try a little harder.
With what?
Jack, you don't take one cup of coffee or donut or whatever you eat during the week and buy some Bitcoin for $10.
But don't you have to like go? It's not like U.S. money though, right? Don't you have to like transfer it into a thing?
Yeah, you got a thing and you do a thing. No, do your homework, dude. Go over to Wawa or Wowza or wherever you kids go to these days, and there's a Bitcoin ATM. Buy $10 worth of Bitcoin.
That's actually a great transition point, Ken, because it is a foreign concept relatively to when we're going to be talking about cryptocurrency in 50 years, and it's so mainstream. So right now we can call it foreign, I suppose. But how to ingrain, not kids, but young adults, even when they're starting in high school, you learn how to do taxes, you learn how to save money and whatnot. Like when they're going to start installing lessons and just best practices for Bitcoin, and where do people, where do they start? Because similar to like the internet, I mean, you can't really wrap your head around it unless you have somebody, get you indoctrinated into it, Ken. Like any suggestions for how to get people to start just the base level learning?
Yeah, so I think that's a great point. And what I hear from so many people, and I'm joking with you guys. I've been studying crypto now for 10 years, traveled the world, meeting with a lot of people that are behind it. So I have great conviction in what I talk about. And I'm not kidding you. I spend 30 minutes to an hour every single day and a half for probably 10 years on it. So yeah, I feel very confident in what I'm saying. But for somebody who's just starting, like maybe you all or anybody watching the show, it looks like this massive forest, and how do I even start cutting down all these trees? Well, it's again literally one tree at a time. Specifically, though, I really like Coinbase, which happens to be an exchange where you buy crypto, and they have a great series of lessons where introduction to crypto.
Yeah, and I believe, Ken, because I've used Coinbase, if you take those introductory lessons, sometimes they'll give you like legit money, shares of the crypto.
Yeah, I mean, they want the world to become educated on it. And that's a good starting point. I also, for all the, I suppose the bad stuff you hear about TikTok or Instagram, there's some great reels there, great learning, and YouTube videos. There's some great individuals that are out there that are teaching you the concepts behind it. And so I share that with a lot of people, but you really just have to start. I just highly say, just get started. Jack, I'm going to come on the show in the future. I'm going to ask you some questions. So you better know more than Dogecoin. And
I need help to get going, though.
Did you just not hear what I was saying?
Well, no, I was listening, but like
Jack, you have a computer.
But if I know someone like you who could really help me get started.
Jack, answer my questions. Do you have a computer?
I do have a computer.
Okay. Do you know how to use it?
Yes.
All right. Have you ever gone to Coinbase.com?
I have not, no.
Okay, so that's step one, Coinbase.com, spelled Coinbase.com, okay? Wait about 10 seconds, it'll pop up. Then look at the top of the screen and say, Introduction to Crypto. Hit the button and start there.
Ken, I think we're going to have you on next week and then make sure Jack is doing his homework properly. Maybe a cryptocurrency Monday bit. How about that? We can all make some money here.
Look, all kidding aside, I would be happy to come on because I am telling you, I think the three of you would be wealthy beyond your wildest dreams if you were to start studying it right now. And it's such infancy. Just start putting some money behind it. And I would love for our viewers to do the same. I'm telling you, this is generational wealth creation.
Yeah,
I wish I had an opportunity at your age to be get into something like this.
Yeah, it is nuts because I have friends around my age and some even a little bit younger that are fully into this, and they already seeing profit margins. And obviously, like, yeah, you can get a quick return, but I mean, if you play your cards right, you're talking about, like you said, Ken, generational wealth, and future security. And I mean, you're talking about the kids of your kids, right? Like,
Yeah.
this isn't like the internet. This is an opportunity, it seems like, where you could say, well, like, you're in the perfect timing for it. It's brand new-ish, and your grandkids one day won't be able to get so into it as you are now. Like, hit the bottom level and just see it go up from here. It's amazing.
I want everybody that's watching right now, and you three, to do your homework on XRP. It's right now trading at about $2.60 from a company called Ripple. I know Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO. They are transforming cross-border transactions that will ultimately rival the SWIFT payment system. And if you were to buy some XRP at $2.60, Jack, do you have $2.60 in your pocket?
I do have, I might even have more in my pocket.
He just spent them on donut holes this morning.
Yeah.
Ken.
Okay, I knew he had donuts. All right. So I'll tell you what, Jack, however much you have in your pocket, I'll double it. And you go buy some XRP and watch what happens to that. There are people are talking about XRP will be $10,000
Oh, wow.
a token in the next few years. Picture how much that would be worth to you if you bought some at $2.60.
A whole lot.
That would be absolutely crazy. Ken, we can't thank you enough for coming on, man, here to the Big Factor. Thank you to everything. Like I said, big reason why we're able to do this. Yeah,
Wait, guys.
Yeah, please.
That's it? I got up early, put on a nice shirt, and it's over?
Hey, we can keep going. We got
Yeah,
some Luka.
yeah,
You want to talk some Luka?
I'll talk Luka.
All right,
Talk
well,
Luka, baby.
all right, well, we got to catch a quick break. Then when we get back, we're talking about LA Luka. I want to go back to the Grammys, Kendrick Lamar's, Bianca Censori, really, her outfit. Jayden Smith had an interesting outfit, and then we'll head out of here on a beautiful Monday. Ken, thanks. He's sticking around. You guys should as well. We'll be right back here on The Big Factor. Hey, everybody. Welcome back into the Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network. We're brought to you today and, of course, every day by our great friends at Fairway Ford Ohio. Fairway Ford is the biggest Ford truck dealership in Ohio. They have the largest selection of Ford F-150s as well as Super Duty trucks, and I can promise you they will not be beat on price by any other Ford dealers. Do not let a short drive to Canfield, Ohio prevent you from saving thousands. Yes, that's thousands on your new truck. Fairway Ford, the largest inventory of new Ford trucks, lowest pricing, and the same hometown level of service. Visit fairwayfordohio.com fairwayforwardohio.com. That's fairwayforwardohio.com. All right, guys, Luka Doncic to LA. I was at a after party for a wedding Saturday when Shams dropped the bomb that Luka is going to LA, Anthony Davis going to the Mavericks. Liv, I want to bring you in here. I saw you cover Kent State basketball, correct?
I do indeed, yeah. I cover a lot of Kent State sports. Basketball is kind of like our wheelhouse because that's the one that Kent State has had a lot of success at. You know, we cover football, but no one wants to talk about Kent State football. But yeah. I was scrolling on Twitter. I'd put my phone down and my phone started buzzing like crazy, and I flip it over and I see something that I truly thought was someone like a parody. I thought someone had gotten hacked. I thought I had gotten Centelled, for those of you who know what that is. I thought there was no...
What is Centelled?
No way. So there's an account called NBA Central.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know the verb version. You got Centelled. Okay.
Yeah, it's like they got the NBA
Centelled.
Centel account, so you got Centelled. Yeah.
So like, you got like fake news, like haha, it's not real. But it was very real. And I play fantasy basketball. I've had some trades that have been horrible, but I don't think I could have ever cooked up something as boneheaded as this.
Yeah, somehow superstars always find their way to LA. Ken, what is it about the Lakers that just pulls these superstars and gets them there? Luka, the latest, they traded for Kobe Bryant, obviously, back in the early 2000s or late 1990s, I should say. And then, obviously, for LeBron, now you got Luka, a guy in his prime at just 25 years old, 5-time All-NBA already. He's going to LA to kind of start the second step in his career. Ken, what is it about these Lakers that always get these superstars?
I guess I'm speechless at this whole thing too. Obviously LA bright lights, the LeBron factor, the Kobe factor, the Magic Johnson, the whole thing, the Lakers era. I go way back to Wilt Chamberlain and the Lakers. It's always been that way. But how do you think Anthony Davis feels right now?
It's interesting because when I first saw the trade, it didn't necessarily make sense to me. As the days went on, I thought about it. I listened to experts and analysts alike speak about it. It's not a shot at Luka, but it has to say a lot to him that they're willing to move on from a guy in his prime who they had weight concerns. He is going to have a massive contract extension looming there in Dallas, and they weren't positive that this was a guy that they wanted to fully commit to. They bring in Anthony Davis, an elite rim defender, who they believe gives them a better chance to win in these next 2 years than perhaps Luka would coming off an injury. It's damning. I give the GM for the Mavs credit to have the kahunas to pull off a move like this, getting away a fan favorite. Ken?
You know what I'd love to see, though? I'd love to see the Lakers in the NBA Finals against the Cavaliers, because the score would be about 200 to 190. There's no defense being played by the Lakers now.
Yeah, there were reports they were saying Luka was like damn near 270, which I find hard to believe. That's like Zion Williamson's diet. That's insane. He didn't look that fat, guys. I saw him come off the plane when he got to LA. I don't know, Jack, what were you doing when you saw the news, brother? What were your initial thoughts?
I was in the basement of a bar after a senior night, so it was always a great time to see all my old friends. But yeah, when that came through, I didn't believe it. Like I thought I was drunk and I misread what was going on, or maybe someone. Actually, I saw it when Luke Gable texted us about it.
Yeah,
that was how I found out, checking my text. But I mean, my first thought was I didn't know that Jimmy Haslam and Andrew Barry bought into the Mavericks. I didn't know that they decided to do that. But it's the Lakers. It's showtime. It's always going to happen with them. They're going to find a way. LeBron's going to find a way to get bailed out by someone else. I mean, Ray Allen, Kyrie. You can surely add Luka to the list now when the finals come around. He needs someone to bail him out. So. Yeah, I mean,
do
this
you really
is about
think
as crazy
that
as it gets.
they're now? Are the Lakers a contender with Luka there? I'm not sold on it.
What's interesting about that, Ken, is the move in the narrative was that the Mavericks made this as a chance for them to better win now. But I believe the odds makers, the books, the Lakers odds to be NBA Finals went up. Vice versa, the Dallas Mavericks odds went down. I don't think it'll make the Lakers a contender. I mean, Luka still has to come back healthy. You have to see how he meshes with LeBron. And you're thin at the center position if you're the Lakers anyway.
Yeah, they better go get one right now.
Yeah, 100%. But, Ken, I got to ask you this, because how could I not? Man, looks like the Lakers are planning on life without LeBron James, of course, as he nears 40. Could you see a potential reunion of LeBron in Cleveland? He's already shaking his head. And before, even if you don't think it's possible, is this something you'd welcome, or do you think the storybook ending is over with him in Cleveland?
No, you know what? I don't want to see it. I wouldn't welcome it. Look, I loved LeBron. I hated LeBron. Then I liked him. And then, okay, good riddance. We've had our share of LeBron. And Bronny James, great kid. I don't want to see that here either. Why mess with a team that's got 40 wins?
Yeah.
I'm an old guy. I don't have that many opportunities left. And, I'll take my chances with this NBA team. I don't want to see anything happening this year, next year. Cavaliers, I think, we've got such a young core here. Don't break it up. I think LeBron would change the mojo completely.
Liv, you're the youngest one here on the show today. Your thoughts on LeBron James if he ever comes back to Cleveland?
I really wasn't. I don't want to say I wasn't like conscious, but I wasn't really into sports when LeBron left the first time. I only kind of remember his stint in Miami and then his time in Cleveland. So I would welcome it back. I love LeBron. I've always thought he's amazing. I don't think he's the GOAT, but I think he's amazing. So I would welcome him back.
Whoa, we can't go past that.
Are we sliding past that?
You got backup. Don't worry. You got backup.
Okay.
What?
No, Michael Jordan is the GOAT, and that's final.
Damn straight.
Ken, your thoughts?
Whoa.
Real
There's
quick,
no
real
way.
quick. Ken,
No.
your thoughts?
Really?
Listen, I lived with Michael Jordan. He's the GOAT.
Yeah.
3-1.
Hey, Ryan, he didn't go 4 in 2007 in the finals like LeBron
Oh my
did.
gosh, I am
Look, I remember
stunned.
when Michael Jordan moved left, Craig Elo went left, Jordan
it's
went
Craig
right.
Elo,
Got it.
Yeah, and it was J.J. Barea, and LeBron couldn't do it, so...
Oh, no. How many times I see LeBron clank that shot? No, LeBron's a great player. Not taking anything away from LeBron James, but no, Michael Jordan. And by the way, I remember when Jack O'Rourke, we were trying to get him, and he announced that he was bringing his talents to big play.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I signed the I'm Coming Home for Sports Illustrated. Very, very similar, but... Ryan, you know me. I don't need him back. I still think back to him holding up the Yankee set at the 2007 ALDS. He doesn't love Cleveland. He just loves the storybook ending.
I mean, he's from Akron, so technically it gets a little watery there. But wow, I'm shocked to say the least. I mean, now that I know this, we'll have to talk about like this more, even off camera, because I'm shocked. I didn't know you were Michael Jordan stan.
You didn't know that?
I'm surprised about Liv saying Michael Jordan better than LeBron James. Ken, that
Ryan,
doesn't surprise me too
we just
much.
took off the
around
Cleveland
really
lens.
in the
We took
Michael
off the Cleveland
Jordan
lens.
era.
Yeah, a little bit.
What's that, Ken? No, then that's fair. I wasn't.
No, I mean, this guy was amazing, and he played defense. He played offense. He carried the team, and he just went out there and played. I don't know. When LeBron James starts talking about politics and China and all this other stuff, come on.
Shut up and dribble.
You're a basketball player, dude.
With China.
Yeah, people do call him La China. All right, we got to take one more break. When we get back, Jack, I want you to text Ken the picture of Jayden Smith, because I don't know. Have you seen it, Ken, by chance, what Jayden Smith wore to the Grammys?
Yeah, we talked about it. Nothing.
No, that was Kanye's girlfriend. This is Jayden Smith, Will Smith's son.
Oh, no, James Smith, no.
Okay,
no.
so what I'm going to do, we're going to take a break. I'm going to have Jack text you this picture, and you're going to tell me.
Ken, you're going to love
You're
this.
going to rate this outfit 1 out of 10 when we get back. Does that sound good?
Perfect.
All right, we'll be right back here on The Big Factor. Hey, everybody. Welcome back here to The Big Factor on the Big Play Sports Network. Ryan Tyler, Jack O'Rourke. Liv Sharp, right?
Yes.
Liv Sharp. And, of course, Big Play Ken, CEO here of Big Play, Ken Miles. Ken, did you get a chance to see the picture that Jack sent you during the break?
Well, he sent it. I didn't want to look at it till we were on the air, so I'm going to look at it
All right,
now.
I'm going to throw it up for everybody that's watching the show as well. This is Jayden Smith, of course, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith's son. I mean, I got to be honest. It's the Grammys. It's not the Met Gala, but this is quite the outfit. Ken, I'm finding it hard to describe this other than he's wearing a house on his face.
What is wrong with people? Come on, you guys got to tell me. This is your your generation's kids.
You're telling me, Ken, that people in the 80s and the 90s and the 70s, they weren't pulling up with houses on their faces?
Ken, I bet you had a pair of hammer pants back in the day.
No, I was a disco guy. I had
The bell bottoms.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bell bottoms, the high-heeled shoes with the goldfish in the heel. Yeah, had that. The gold chains hanging down here. Oh,
Ken, would you say the house is a worse look or going naked is a worse look? It's debatable.
That's a tough one. I suppose it depends on your body.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah. No, I'll take the body over the house. This is just the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, and I'm sure this kid's going to turn out to be a real winner.
I just wonder because with fashion, sorry about that. With fashion and everything else, there's a meaning behind everything. I haven't read about it, but I wonder what Jayden Smith's meaning behind wearing a house was. Liv, you're our female dress correspondent today on the show.
Fashionista.
Thanks.
What did you think about Jayden Smith's house look?
I also didn't understand it. Again, I'm sure there's some sort of meaning. I also haven't researched it. I just kind of wrote it off because I've seen so many wild things as far as fashion goes that I was just kind of like, well, I suppose it's par for the course. And I think last night it was far from the craziest thing I saw on the red carpet. Bianca Censori definitely wins for that one, hands down. But it's Jayden Smith. I expect no less from multi-billionaires at this point. They do whatever they want.
All right, so picture this when they tell a little kid, hey, you're going to have to go to the awards ceremony. Oh, do I have to go? Yeah, and you're going to have to wear a tie. Really? Yeah, okay. So puts the shirt on, the jacket, they tie the tie, and they go, oh, and one more thing, we're going to put a house on your head.
Yeah.
Just for fun.
I mean, listen, I'm not very fashion forward myself, I'd say. I mean, I know how to dress and match clothes, I would say pretty well, like the average guy does. But I have never quite seen an outfit like this. It looks like he's in season 2 of Wednesday.
I mean, he's 26 years old. What the hell is he doing?
Yeah.
He's got a house on his head.
Yeah. He does.
But I like the little heart touch there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big house.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I mean,
It's more of a castle, I would say, almost. Or like a manor, maybe?
a manor. I feel like that's a good way to describe it.
It's called the Vampire Castle headpiece.
Oh, you found the actual headpiece.
I Googled it because I was curious.
Does it give a price for it?
Let's see.
Oh.
What's everyone's guesses?
I would think to rock that, you got to be thinking you're looking at least $4,000, right?
Probably more.
Roughly.
Wow.
Ken, you got a guess?
Look, you couldn't pay me to wear this thing. So, no, I'm not paying any money for it, and I don't even want to guess. I don't even want to partake in this shenanigans.
All right, ready?
Yes.
Around $4,600.
Jack, look at you.
Right on
Put me
the
on the
money.
prices
Yeah,
right.
you got to go on the prices right.
You want a brand new washer and dryer.
Ken, do you watch the Grammys? Do you watch the Oscars? Let's see, the Golden Globes, all that shabazz? Are you into any of that?
No, I'm into the Eclipse Awards for horses.
There you go. Especially after you won the award, I'm sure you love it.
Yeah. No, truth be told, we had a friend whose son was a trumpet player, and he ended up becoming the trumpet player for Lady Gaga.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, we followed her, and so we've been to some and seen some award shows. It's all kind of redundant in such a big show, and no, I don't like it.
Fair enough. They do a horrible job at marketing them, Ken. You're a guy with a marketing background. You know all about marketing. I had no idea it was on yesterday. I had no idea the Golden Globes were a month ago. They do such an awful job at promoting that stuff. All right, but we got to go. You got something to say, Ken?
Yeah, I was going to say, you know what? I think where it lost me was when it turned political.
Yeah.
Come on, you're an entertainer. Do your thing, sing your song, do your show, whatever it might be. But the moment you start telling me, how we're going to lower inflation and what the price of eggs should be, no, sorry, not interested.
I think that's a very popular opinion amongst the masses, Ken. All right, we got to get out of here. Huge thank you to Jack. Huge thank you to Liv for coming on today. And, of course, huge thank you to Ken, Mr. Big Play Ken, CEO here of Big Play, making everything possible here. Enjoy Florida, Ken. I'm sure the weather is obviously more beautiful than it is. We'll have to have you back on again to give Jack his cryptocurrency quiz. But in the meantime, everybody, have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful Monday. Tune into Big Play Cleveland tonight. We're about to get wrapped up and filming that when we get back. Ken, thank you, my brother, for coming on. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
All right, everybody, have a wonderful Monday. We'll be back same time, same people on The Big Factor.